I imagine this is probably weird for some of you, being able to see my face. I'm not just a voice behind photos and video clips. I'm an actual person. Welcome. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Nick from the Lost River Drive-In, and today I just grabbed 10 vintage DVD releases that I have a fondness for that I wanted to show you guys. Now, they're in no particular order, and obviously this isn't like, oh my gosh, the transfer on this is incredible. No, these are just vintage ones that I love for many different reasons. Now, a lot of this is driven by nostalgia or purely just aesthetic reasons. So getting into it, the first one I want to show you guys is 1998's Halloween 3 Good Times DVD release. The reason that I love this one so much, and I've talked about Halloween 2's release of this as well, including the VHS for both of them, it's the snapper case. I mean, look, it's so retro, I get it. And on the inside here, it is really corny. I mean, you just get some like corny old school disc art and the insert here as well, but I don't know, I just love that about it. And I miss the times when DVDs used to actually say that, just had DVD on the inside of the DVD. It takes me back to my childhood. As far as like what is on this release that makes it so like pleasing to me, nothing. There's absolutely no special features whatsoever. And of course, it's a DVD transfer from the late 90s. So you should never go back and watch this movie unless you're doing it, at least in this form, for purely aesthetic reasons. But for me, that's just what it is. I just love these snapper cases. I love these good time releases of Halloween 2 and Halloween 3. So that's the first one. Now, I only have 2 Halloween movies on here because I wanted some variation. So this is the last Halloween one I'll show, and that's the 2003 25th anniversary DivMax DVD of the original Halloween. Now, the reason I love this one is at the time, this was the cream of the crop when it came to special features for the original Halloween. In the early 2000s, this was right before 25 Years of Terror, right before it got its first Blu-ray release. This was the edition to get. There's a lot of special features on here for the time, and on the inside, the coolest thing is the booklet that it comes with. And also, I'll just say, they didn't skimp at all on the disc art on these. Around this time, you would see a lot of horror movies or movies in general just giving you disc art that was the actual font logo of the movie, and that's it. But the thing that really stands out about this edition is, like I said, this booklet here that is just photos and write-ups about the original Halloween, which I think is really cool and is kind of a blast from the past, especially the first time I got this DVD release when I was a teenager. This was really informative. This was before the internet was as big as it is now, where everything was at your fingertips. So something like this was a must-have. So the 25th anniversary DivMax DVD of the original Halloween, if you guys don't have it, I recommend getting it. Next one is one that I just picked up, and I love everything about it. And I'm going to get into specifics about that, but that is 2002's release of Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan from Paramount. Now, of course, I love the artwork on here. And on the back here, again, I miss when physical releases really went all out like this. Even if it looked corny and it didn't age super well, that's fine. I really don't need it to. But this was the golden era, because this was when you would have the box at the top of the, on the back here, that would have special features. And that's your special features you're getting. Oh my gosh, widescreen. Oh, and there's subtitles. Like, that's the special features. I miss those days. As I say that in the sense of like, just out of pure comedy. Not missing it like, oh, I miss when we used to have this. No, because you get actual special features now. But it's just, there was something about that era. When I see a film that has that on the back of it, it just makes me laugh. And on the inside here, again, disc art that is so retro. And guys, I'm telling you, not a lot of companies do it like this anymore. There was more effort put into these releases back then, at least just from aesthetically. Now they'll load it up with special features and transfers, and it's great, and you'll get terrible artwork. I'm looking at you, Exorcist. But this is where it's at. Next up is going to be the 2000 release from New Line Home Entertainment, and that is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. And again, just like the Good Times DVD releases of Halloween 2 and Halloween 3, I absolutely love the snapper case. I cannot get enough of it. And again, on the inside here, you get a great still from the movie with your chapter selections, and you get good disc art. Again, unless you're like a cinephile, like a physical media collector, you don't understand, you don't really get why people nerd out about that kind of stuff. But we do. We really, really do. Now, there was some special features on here. There was actually a DVD-ROM that you could read the original screenplay. There's widescreen and full-screen versions of the movie, as well as Testing Your Knowledge, a trivia game for A Nightmare on Elm Street, and then just giving you like trivia about the cast and stuff. So at the time, in 2000, it was like, oh my God, there's some special features on here. Now, obviously, we know that ain't nothing nowadays. But at the time, it was cool. But again, this, just like every other one so far, lands on my list for me simply just for aesthetics. It's just beautiful. I love it. And not to be outdone, 2000's release of A Nightmare on Elm Street by New Line Home Entertainment with, again, snapper. And there's just something about that sound that just takes me back to my childhood. But here's what the inside of it looks like. And again, love it. Iconic shot from the movie. Great disc art. And special features wise, it's the same as Dream Master. You can read the screenplay as you're watching the movie, which is kind of cool for the times at least. You get the cast trivia, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But they threw the theatrical trailer on here too. Oh my God, wild. And you can watch it in widescreen. Well, people, what are we doing? Run out and buy this. This is the edition to have. Now, I'm kidding, obviously, but it's not lost on me that A Nightmare on Elm Street really has gotten the shaft when it comes to physical releases. So kind of does suck when I make jokes about that, because then I'm like, I want that box set. Next up is going to be 2000's Anchor Bay Entertainment DVD release of Evil Dead 2, my favorite Evil Dead film. Now again, like I said with all of these, I don't have to keep reiterating, but like, look at this artwork. That artwork, that looks like a band t-shirt. Like a heavy metal band t-shirt I would wear in high school and like no one would talk to me. That like, yes, I love that. Artwork on the back here too. Not much in the way of special features on here. There is a commentary and you do have one featurette, so I guess it's better than what we had been getting. But on the inside here, that band t-shirt artwork here, and not to be outdone, a chapter insert with the exact same artwork. So again, like I said, there's just something about this era where they put the effort in on the outside of it. You usually got chapter inserts, and I don't know about you guys, but I always treated those as like mini posters when I was younger. I was like, oh my God, it came with like a little poster. I don't know. There's just something about it. So Evil Dead 2 from Anchor Bay Entertainment. Now this next one was put out in 2001 by Universal and MGM Home Entertainment. And I've always loved this one. It is the Hannibal Lecter Anthology Collection, as they deemed it. And it is essentially just this box case with that shot of Hannibal on it. And you've got, slides out, and it comes with Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal. Now, these are just your standard DVD releases of these films. This is a 2-disc release, which is kind of cool. There's a decent amount of special features on both, but it's not really so much that I gravitated towards this release. I saw this at like a buyback place, and it was like $5. It was the box it was housed in. I don't know. I just thought it was cool, displaying that on the shelf. Obviously, when I watch these movies, I always gravitate toward Blu-ray or 4K. There's just no reason for me to go back to the DVDs. But aesthetically, having this and being able to just look at it, I don't know. It's kind of pretty. Next up is going to be the 2006 DVD release by Synapse of The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, this is a steelbook, a DVD steelbook, which is wild because back in the day, this wasn't really a thing a lot. And you see it a lot now with Blu-rays and 4Ks. But I feel like there are few DVD steelbooks, and this is one of them. And it's a gorgeous one. Not only does it look incredible on the front and the back, it's sturdy, it's durable, and this is loaded with special features. Again, artwork on the inside, discs, awesome. Awesome. I mean, there's literally no complaint about this. When this came out in 2006, this was the edition to have of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre before we would eventually get Blu-rays and 4Ks. But this is a great edition. Again, simply just sitting on the shelf. Looks great. But also a lot of special features on here. Deleted scenes, making ofs, commentaries, you name it. So I think even if you have the most up-to-date editions of this movie, you probably should still go out and get this one just because It's purdy. Next up is going to be 2002's release of this movie by Lionsgate, and that is Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Now, I've shown this on a video years ago, I believe, but anytime I have a chance to talk about like vintage DVDs and whatnot, I'm going to mention this one because it is almost like opens like a book. Really cool. I mean, your chapter insert is part of it that folds out, and I mean, come on. By the way, I always thought that looked like Spider-Man. Like every time I see that, just like from like in my periphery, I'm like, Spider-Man? I don't know. Weird. On the inside here, there was a bunch of photos that when I was a teenager, I plastered all over the wall of my bedroom. So that's why they're not in here anymore. But this is a really, really cool release, and it's got some special features on here. This is part of it. It's just like it's got this worn look that I really, really dig about this release. It almost looks like you shouldn't have it. I don't know. It's awesome. So again, just visually appealing to the eye, and I love it. And the last one I want to show you guys is 2006's release by Universal of Chucky, the Killer DVD collection. Now again, I found this at a buyback place, but I actually used to have this years and years ago, and I don't know what happened to it. So I saw this like 2 years or so ago out at a place for like $10, and I was like, I'm going to buy it. Look, this is so of its time. So you get this slide off here, and oh my God, like they've got tape to hold his weapons down, which is hilarious. It's three-dimensional. He is raised. He is risen. And I'm going to move the tape over so I can open it and show you guys because it's literally taped shut. Kind of shitty that you didn't get any discard on here, but you know, there's some art on the inside, so that's pretty cool. And I don't know, it's just such a product of its time. I love it so much. Chucky looks absolutely sad. Like he looks just, it's depressing to look at Chucky like that. But this, again, a product of its time. And like, just to the naked eye, it's like, oh, wow, that looks pretty cool. That's unique. There's also some bonus features on here, some commentaries and everything. And it's got Child's Play 3, Child's Play 2, Bride of Chucky, and Seed of Chucky. Obviously, because of rights reasons, they didn't have the first Child's Play on here. But I love this. I love this little thing. Look at this little guy. How can you hate him? So that's just 10 vintage DVDs that I own that I think are really cool for a multitude of reasons. I think I mentioned more than enough times on this video how a lot of it is purely aesthetic or nostalgic for me. It's not about transfers, special features, none of that. It's about being transported back to a moment in time when I look at these or when I open them, or just looking at them on the shelf and being like, God, that looks so nice. But that's just 10 of them. As you know, if you own hundreds, if not thousands of movies, there are probably dozens upon dozens of movies like this and editions like this. I just grabbed 10 and I said, let's show them to the world. I need to get a video back out there with my face in it. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you own any of these? If so, what do you think of them? If you don't, which ones are you like, I've got to go get them now? Please discuss down below in the comments section with me. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It's right there. Follow me on social media and consider becoming a patron for just $1 a month at patreon.com/thelostRiverDrivein. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing my face again. If not, I'll just go back to audio only. This is Nick, and I'm pulling out.